selfish thing, because God's got something for you. We first met at Abundant Life Church, and I was a house announcer for the church. A lot of work that I have done across the city, across the nation, came out of Abundant Life, and Lieutenant Fields and the Lieutenant's house has always been a part of me over 25 years now. We have done our very best to encourage men and families to seek a higher level of consciousness, get back on the right road, become productive citizens, do what we do, and keep it moving. You know, we keep it real, we keep it moving. I don't know your story. It fascinates me every time I meet men who come through. And I told Lou, when we went down to Darrington to speak, I had a revelation. I said, you know, a lot of us who've never been behind bars are suffering in our own mind of our own different captivity. There's a lot of us suffering. Don't talk about it, but we locked up in ourselves in some different kind of capacity. And I pledged to Lou that night. I said, man, whatever I can do to help encourage these men or help out the house, I'm down with it, because I have a loud mouth and I got a big voice on 100,000 watt radio station. It's been the anchor in Houston for over 40 years, and I'm blessed to be a part of that. I do want to share something with you tonight. My latest co-host, comedian Ali Sadiq. Don't know if you've seen Ali or you know of Ali, but Ali will tell you that he used to be a street pharmacist that was very frowned upon in the community. And he was scheduled to do 10, he ended up doing 6, got out. But I asked Ali to send you all a message tonight. Hang on. He's Muslim. Not that that should mean any difference in terms of human, but this is where he speaks. I hope you can hear it tonight. So I had Ali do that for y'all because he shared, he's brought a lot of wisdom to me about the system and the things that you've come through, and it's a fascinating world. I do know that under Lieutenant Fields, we've been able to help a great deal of men, and some families reunite. And for me, it's all about the human spirit. I've learned not to judge. I've made my own mistakes, and I've been kicked around, kicked down, told I wasn't gonna be, wasn't gonna happen, none of that. A lot of that was self-inflicted. And then I bumped into good people like Lieutenant Fields that put me back on the straight and narrow. And I bucked. I'm a grown man. I got bills, kids, and responsibility. But it seems like everything I tried to do in my own mind was short term and never panned out to full prosperity. I'm not a church guy, but Lieutenant taught me and showed me that I am a man of God. And in prayer and meditation, God has spoken to me in a couple of different ways, a couple of different times. There are 2 books we're about to release, one called My Specific Prayer. The other, I don't even believe this happened to me. That's how deep it was. In prayer and meditation, there was a verse out of Proverbs that was tattooed on my heart. And it wakes me up every morning. And it simply says, I trust in the Lord with all my heart. Lean not on my own understanding, which was my issue. I had trust issues. I didn't trust nobody about nothing. And I'm going to trust this invisible voice in my head to follow. But at that point, I was at my lowest anyway, so I'm like, you know what? Let me give this a shot. Lean not on your own understanding, but in all your ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct your path. And my path wound up at Abundant Life and Lieutenant Fields, learning Lieutenant's house, learning how much good that this facility has done for y'all individually and the community. People who have been discarded, folk giving up on you, family don't want to have nothing to do with you. I've been there. I've been on my own since I left at 17. I've traveled 18 different cities, and I worked for 11 different radio stations. From top to top, New York, Chicago, to the lowest of the low, Montgomery, Mobile, Alabama, Selma. I was doing what the gift gave me to do. But the gift didn't have any direction. The gift said, let's just keep going. Let's just keep partying. Let's just keep being. When I got to Lou, he said, you know you got so much more in you. He said at the lieutenant's house, we stir up that gift within. And I bought in. I cried like a baby. I was a little embarrassed, but I cried. Because he was right. I knew it instinctively, he was right. But that other mind didn't want to give in. So one evening after church, Lou said, I want you to come by the house and I want you to speak to my staff. Might have been a holiday or something. And he said, man, they all listen to you on the radio, they appreciate what you're doing. You know, you give us shout outs and make us feel good, some self-esteem. Nobody else has ever done that for us. But come on by the house. And some storm came and it canceled the whole event. I never made it, never had a chance to tell folks, thank you for the job well done. There are people in media who appreciate the work you do. And I left it alone. A couple of weeks later at church, Lou said, I want you to stop by the office. Came by the office, handed me a check. I said, what's this for? He said, this is for the event you didn't do. I'm like, what kind of man pays you for something you didn't do? He said, but you agreed to do it. You talk up the house and you build self-esteem. And I want to show my gratitude and generosity for the job I know you will do in future. That story is 24 years old. And I've been with the lieutenant's house ever since. So, if ever an occasion you hear the whispers and the beat goes on, or I just get an inkling somebody needs a shout out, I'm shouting at the lieutenant's house. Job well done, gentlemen, ladies, for the work you do. I'm inspired by your mental change of attitude. I'm inspired by the things you've come through to get here. And I'm inspired by the love of Jesus Christ in that man right there, Lieutenant Manuel Fields, who has been my father figure, a brother when I needed a brother, a man I could call and cry and say, Lou, what do I do next? And he said, Doc, you already know what to do. Pray on it. The answer will come. Pray on it. That's how the books came. That's how everything has come. And I'm grateful. I'm grateful to y'all. I'm grateful to God. I'm grateful to the Spirit of God and Lieutenant Fields. And I thank you, y'all. That's my time. Merry Christmas to you.
Merry Christmas.